know that you all can hear me. All right, thank you, everyone. So we are going to start immediately. We are still waiting for a couple of people to join us. But while we are waiting for them, I would love to know you and where you are joining us from. So just type your name and your location in the chat box. I'm Chukwemeka and I'm joining from Nigeria, all right? So just type your name and where you are joining us from, all right? So I'm expecting to see a couple of comments in the chat box. All right, Comfort from Canada, Timothy from Ghana, fantastic. Fantastic, let's keep dropping it, all right? All right, let's keep dropping it. Oh, fantastic. Wemana Joss, God's Mind from London, Joshua from Nigeria, fantastic, fantastic. Another thing I would love to know is if today is the first time you are joining us as well, just do well to drop a 1. Okay, if today is not your first time, if you've been in our initial sessions, just drop it too, so that I'll know how to engage you tonight, because we are about to have a fantastic discussion, right? I want to, okay, Comfort too. So Comfort, that means you've been in a couple of our sessions before now. Can see a couple of 1s. Ezra 1, Timothy 1, HP 2, Comfort 2. All right, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. So while we are waiting for others to join us, today we are going to have an amazing discussion, right? And with me on the call tonight is Ade Dalapo. Ade Dalapo is a seasoned cybersecurity expert that has has over a decade experience in the cybersecurity space. So tonight we're going to be discussing on the exact topic that talks about why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other tech roles, right? I believe that we all on this call understand who cybersecurity analysts are, right? So the way we have threats that we face every day in organizations, personally, within our own digital space, right? There is high need for cybersecurity analysts to help and prevent these preventing threats that is coming up, right? So that is part of the reasons why we are here, to first of all understand what cybersecurity is, and then why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other tech roles. So I don't know, can you people still hear me? All right, my colleague Lydia have also dropped a attendance form in the chat box. So please do well to engage, so that at the end of the session, you can get the recordings and also you will get the slide, right? Just fill in your details so that you will get all these things that are needed. So I'm going to start immediately. Ade Dalapo, are you there? Hi, Ade Dalapo.
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Right. Yeah, I just want to confirm that I'm not alone on this call. So guys, let's start immediately while we wait for others to also join us, right? So Tenalytics, right? A couple of people put 1 in chat box, which means today is their first time of being in one of our sessions, right? And I'm just going to run you through who we are, right? And we are Tenalytics, right? And we are an edtech educational technology company that help Africans and the people of the Black community to transition into the tech space, right? By lowering the entry barrier into these exact industries. So what we've done over the years is to help the Black community transition into the tech ecosystem by giving them the necessary skills that they need, by equipping them with all the tech competencies that they need to navigate this exact field. Our services range over a couple of data-related courses like data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum, and of course, cybersecurity, which is the main reason why we are here, right? And our facilitators come from amazing industries that is top of the ecosystem, right? We have people that come from Apple, we have people that come from KPMG, we have facilitators from Google, we have facilitators from Amazon, right? And what makes us different is that our courses are structured in a way that it makes it very practical for you to be able to, get the value that you need. It's not theoretical-based courses that you're going to enter classes and we're teaching you, okay, what is data? Data is this. No, we are going to make sure your hands get dirty, that you get to practice with exact case studies that is going to make you an experienced person in this space. So basically, this is who we are, right? This is Tenalytics. I don't know if you can still hear me. And if you can still see my screen, on my screen we'll have Adeza and Efemena. So Adeza is the founder of Tenalytics, and he holds over a decade experience in this exact industry. He played over a couple of roles as a data science consultant, as a data analyst, and he's also been a management consultant in the past. He worked across so many sectors: the sports, professional services, edtech, energy, and automobile. And personally, Adeza has trained over 8,500 participants. And what made Adeza to actually found Analytics is that, when you get into the tech space and your immediate surroundings is basically the whites, right? That's what gave Adeza the need to say, we need to help the Black community to get into this exact field, right? And not just after we move to a different country, we are not really doing all those skilled jobs. We found out that Africans, the Blacks, are the ones that are doing the menial jobs, right? While we leave the Indians to, occupy the tech ecosystem. That's what gave rise to Adeza and Efemina founding Tenalytics, so that we can be able to help the Black community get into the tech industry. And also we have Efemina. Efemina has played as a data science contractor in the UK, in US, and presently in Canada, right? And he worked in a couple of places, and he holds over a decade experience in all these multiple sectors. So you can free to follow Adeza and Efemina on LinkedIn so that you can also get to understand our journey here at Tenalytics. So next on the screen is the facilitators that you have for tonight. And the amazing person that we have here is Adedolapo. Adedolapo, I don't know whether you want to unmute and say a couple of words to the people on the call.
Hi, everyone, and I'm super excited to be here. And you guys don't, you have no idea what is in stock for you. I will just keep your fingers crossed, and I'll be sharing some tidbits with us on how we can take advantage of the program, all right, on cybersecurity for you to transition into the tech space. So just keep your fingers crossed.
Thank you so much, Adedolapo. So Adedolapo sounded so humble, but Adedolapo is a big man actually. That's the head of cybersecurity and governance in Unity Bank, right? And he also a business information security officer, that's a BISO. One fantastic thing about Adedolapo is that he didn't actually start off as a cybersecurity contractor, right? He started as a chartered accountant. He read accountancy, and from there, he's been able to transition and become the head of cybersecurity governance program in Unity Bank. So Adedolapo over the years has played in a couple of roles as an IT auditor. He has CISADA, Certified Information Security Analyst, Certified Information Security Manager, Certified Fraud Examiner, and PMP holder. Adedolapo, last year, he was nominated as top 25 cybersecurity staff of the year in New Delhi, right? So we have an amazing person here, and currently he is also a PhD candidate. We have an amazing person here tonight to help us understand why cybersecurity is growing, right? Why the need for cybersecurity, and why exactly are cybersecurity experts any more than the other players in the tech industry. And of course, myself, Chukwemeka Ekpa, I'm CEO for Tenalytics. And over the years, I've played in a couple of roles as well: data analyst, financial modeling and valuation analyst, control and data protection officer, both in the banking, fintech, hospitality, and edtech industry, right? And here I'll be anchoring this exact session with Adedolapo. So what exactly are we going to be doing tonight, right? What are we doing tonight? Number one key thing that we are going to scratch this night is basically why choose a cybersecurity career. And we are going to help you understand everything that you need to know about cybersecurity and where exactly are the opportunities in tech. So I'll be taking this one a couple of minutes from now, and then Adedolapo will come up and tell us why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other tech roles. And also we'll have maybe a little demo if you stay till the end of the call. And lastly, we will be telling you about our upcoming cohort that is starting March 2nd, 2024, the success stories, and then you are going to have a discount by virtue of you being on this call. All right. So if you can still hear me, just drop one in the chat box before we dive right into it, so that I will know that people are following me. All right. So if you can still hear me, just drop a one in chat box so that I will know that I am not alone here. Okay. I'm still waiting for some comments, or nobody on the call can hear me. All right, can see a couple of one from Bremama, from Comfort, from Billy, from Anne. Fantastic, fantastic. I want this conversation to be very, very engaging, right? You are going to be talking to me. I am going to be talking to you so that we all can move from the place of the unknown to the unknown. So, number one question I'll ask is, why choose a career in cybersecurity, right? Maybe you've heard about so many tech roles that exist. Or, okay, let me even phrase it this way. Why do you want to transition into the tech industry, right? Let me just see the reasons for you to transition into the tech industry. So just drop it in the chat box. What is your reason for wanting to transition into this tech ecosystem, for wanting to transition into the cybersecurity industry? Because the truth is that these are the things that is going to serve as a motivating factor to you on the long run. So I want to hear you. Oh, Oluwase Victor said money. Amazing. Victor wants to transition because of the money. That's the truth. Tech is the future and for the pay. Nice one, Billy. The truth is that many of us that are in the tech industry, we are here for the money, right? I used to play in the banking industry. I used to work. I mean, I was a banker initially before I transitioned into the tech space, right? And the most important thing that motivated me to wanting to leave is because I wanted the money and I also needed the work-life balance. I want to be able to work from Kenya. I want to be able to work from South Africa. I want to be able to go on vacation and still be able to work, right? So that was my own motivating factor. So I want to hear yours. We have a couple of people on the call. So I've just seen 4 comments from Sheyi, from Billy, from Comfort. They said money, tech is the future, and to have a blooming career. What is your own motivating factor for wanting to transition? All right, let me see you drop it. Wisdom said passion. Amazing. Amazing. Palms is my motivation. Hey, God's mind, I like you already, right? I like you. You and I are going to be friends because the truth is that it's the motivation for everyone. Everything that we are doing as a company, as individuals, is basically for the revenue and for the passion, right? So fantastic. I've seen a couple of comments found to improve my self-worth, and be relevant in this present space. Soft life, flexibility, amazing. So let's go ahead, right? Cybersecurity is an increasingly attractive career path. We all agree, right? This is an exact area where you will say that the money is existing. You will say the passion is existing. You will say that there is that growth that is currently in the tech space. And one of the reasons why people choose to, transition into tech or transition to be a cybersecurity expert, which I want you to take note of, is basically number one is great work-life balance and flexibility. Okay, like I mentioned initially, I switched because I wanted to have that work-life balance. I wanted to be able to, be with my family and still work. I wanted to still be able to go on vacation and still work. So that was my own motivating motivator. So you need to have your own motivator so that when the going gets tough, you will understand and remember the reason why you are doing this in the first place. Because the truth is that it's not all juicy. There are going to be times that things are going to be a little bit hard. Those are the times that you are going to say, okay, this is the reason why I chose to transition in the first place, right? This is the reason why I am doing this. So when you remember the reasons why you are doing this, that's going to propel you higher. Number 2 is the growing job opportunities. IT jobs have accounted for 25% of the share of the global technology industry hiring in 2023. This is 2023, okay? So for the last year, IT job accounted for 1/4 of the hiring activity that happened in November 2023. So this shows that there is high growing opportunity in the tech space, and you wouldn't want to be left out in this growing industry. Number 3 is that you don't actually need to have a tech-related degree. Our founders, Adeza studied industrial chemistry. I think Femina studied economics, and today they are experts in data anything data, right? Data experts, data contractors, data scientists, data analysts, everything that relates to data, you just have to mention their name. And someone like Adidolabo also, he transitioned from accounting to becoming the head of cybersecurity and governance in Unity Bank. Myself, I studied civil engineering, and today I've transitioned to be a data analyst, to be a data protection officer. I've played in the data industry a lot. So if you are currently feeling that, oh, I don't have the degree to do this, just know that analytics is the degree that you need, right? You don't need to go to school for 4 years, 5 years for you to be able to transition. We are the degree that you need, and we are going to show you how this is going to pan out, right? So number 4 is also fantastic salary and benefits. Like all of us have mentioned, there is money in tech, no doubt. That is the truth. There is money in tech. And this is because there is an increased demand for tech experts, but there is low supply of tech experts. And we all know what happens when demand is high but supply is low. Price will go high. If you see what's happening in the economic sector relating to FX and Nigeria and Naira, these are things that's playing out, right? When dollar is not available, the little that people have, the exchange goes up, right? And this is how the salary of tech experts is, right? Because of the demand for people that have cybersecurity skills, but the supply is low. So that made the exact salary, the wages for these guys to skyrocket, right? So, and the last one, I know someone mentioned passion. Some people want to be able to work at the heart of innovation and make changes happen, right? You want a place that you can comfortably say, oh, I'm the one that was able to, stop this threat from happening in the bank. I was the one that was able to, make this exact thing come to life. I was part of the team that built the product that you are using. So these are people being passionate about their jobs and working at the heart of innovation. So you need to understand and know the 5 things or the exact thing that is motivating you to want to choose a career in cybersecurity. Because these are the things that are going to keep you going, that things that are going to motivate you as the time goes on, so that even if you get tired along the way, you will remember the reason why you started in the first place, which is you want a bigger salary, you want a great life balance, you want to be at the heart of innovation. Just make sure that today, before you leave, just write your motivating factor for wanting to transition so that you do not forget the reason why you started this journey in the first place. Now, I promised us that I'm going to show us where the opportunities in tech are currently in 2024, right? And this is something that we have researched and we've come up with everything that you need to know. So there's this report called World Economic Forum. Yeah, they've done research and they've propounded these are the jobs that are going to grow in the next 3 to 5 years, 10 years. These jobs are going to grow, and these are the jobs that are going to decline. So if you look on the left-hand side, you're going to see jobs that are going to grow, right? And on the right-hand side, we are going to see jobs that are going to decline. And number four on this exact jobs that are going to grow, you are going to see the information security analysts. You will see the information security analyst. Can anyone see this? The information security analyst. So what I'm going to do is that at the end of this call, if you if you fill the attendance, you are going to get this slide and you can go through these reports. Once you get it, just click on this, download the full report so that you can also look at the jobs that are going to grow. My colleague Adam just dropped the attendance form in the chat box again. So number 4 amongst the jobs that are going to grow is information security analysts, right? And who are the information security analysts? These are the data security experts, the application security experts, the network security experts. There are so many derivatives inside information security analysts, but you need to know that these are the cybersecurity analysts that we're talking about. So imagine what it would be like to be in the number 4 jobs that is going to be in high demand in the coming years, right? If you look at this right-hand side, like I mentioned, we are going to see this job that is very, very surprising, right? This exact job here, product managers, right? who would have thought that product managers are going to decline? But in a couple of years, we are going to see this pan out. And this is because basically there is a current need for also Scrum Masters, right? Scrum Masters are becoming a high need. And by that, they are displacing the product managers. So we need to be able to understand and be able to capture all this growth that is going to happen, right? We need to be able to pick it at the initial stage that it is currently coming up, so that is not when that entire space is already getting mapped out, or like product manager is getting declined, will not be joining this space. No, you need to be able to capture it early so that you can get optimum value from it. So information security analyst, cyber security analyst is going to grow in a couple of years, and that is part of the reason why we are here. So please, if your intention is to switch to become a cyber security analyst, just know that you are on the right path. Okay. So moving on, I want to play a couple of scenario for us here. So you are, like I mentioned initially, we all are on this call together. We are going to do this together so that we get to understand where we are going, right? I want you to do this with me so that, okay, I can see Choco have raised her hand. Hi, Choco. Please just stay on the call. At the end of the call, we are going to have a question and answer session where you can ask any question that you have, all right? Okay, so we're going to have that time for you. Or you can also drop it in the chat box so at the end of the session, just remind us and we are going to pick it up from there. All right, so moving on, let's look at this scenario, right? Number one is malicious software download, right? Let me play this scenario out for us. Emily is a freelance graphic designer, right? Who often looks for new software and tools to enhance her workflow. Then one day she came across this website that is offering a free trial for a popular graphic design software. Let's assume you are Emily and you are looking for a software, you've been looking for it and it's paid. Then suddenly you came across the one that is free and you're excited about the opportunity, and she quickly downloads the software from the site. Then unknown to Emily, the website she downloaded the software from was not legit, right? Instead, it was a malicious website that was set up by hackers to distribute malware disguised as legitimate software. So immediately Emily installs this program on her computer, she started noticing unknowingly the malware was introduced into her system. And then shortly after, Emily started noticing strange behavior on her computer. Files began to disappear. Her system slows down. Eventually, her system crashed, and she was unable to access any of her work files, right? Now, what do you think happened here? I want to see it in the chat box. What do you think happened here? The answer is already on the screen, but I just want to know people that are following us. Looking at this scenario that Emily had, what do you think happened here? After she downloaded a software from the app, immediately her system started crashing. She started noticing slowdown. She started seeing that her files are disappearing. What do we think happened here? Okay, so engage me. Okay, YV, you're asking if I can share the link for the skills gap and business analyst. Thank you. So YV, just make sure you fill the attendance form so that you can get the link to, you can get the recording of this session, and you can also, have access to this slide. Okay, someone is answering. Comfort said, malware attack, cyber theft, virus infection, information theft, virus, malware attack. Fantastic. So this is a malware attack, like what Paul said. Now, Emily has fallen victim of a malware attack, right? Where cyber criminals exploited her desire for new software. And this is what we all do on daily basis, right? I don't know if you are in Nigeria, there's this common trend for people to easily install cracked version of softwares, right? So just know that when you are doing some of these things, these are opening up yourself for some of these attacks, right? When you do any of these, maybe you want to install Excel and you know that you're going to pay for Microsoft key for you to get your product key and all. For sharp, because of we are all sharp, right? You enter Computer Village and say, oh, just put the cracked version straight. And with time, you're going to start noticing some of these changes, right? Now, this is a malicious malware attack that's happened to Emily. Now, I'm going to paint another scenario, right? And this is Samantha, right? Samantha uses social media and she uses Instagram to shop. So she follows her favorite brands and influencers to keep up the latest trend. Then one day, Samantha received a direct message that appears to look like it's from the official account of her favorite clothing brand, right? They've offered her a discount code as a loyal follower. Immediately, Samantha is very, very, she's like, if someone offers you a discount code in this current situation in Nigeria, I'm sure all of us are going to jump immediately on it. So immediately she logged into the website, she clicked on the link, they asked her to provide her details, she logged in and put her username and everything. Then instantly, Samantha started, receiving debit alerts. The hacker has used it to make shoppings on the website, and then she now felt that she has now been, attacked. Now, what do we think happened to Samantha in this exact scenario? The answer is also there. It's glaring on the screen. Samantha got a message, oh, you have a discount code. And then she looked at it, it looked amazing, right? If you got an email from chukwemeka.ekpa, but chukwemeka.ekpa.com, but then the hacker used maybe chukwemeka.ekpa.ng. And then we all didn't know these things. And by virtue of doing this, she has exposed herself to what we call phishing attacks, right? She has exposed herself to phishing attacks. So the last scenario that I want to paint for us is number 3 scenario, which we call Wi-Fi network spoofing, right? And this is what most of us on daily basis fall prey to. Now, David is traveling, and David is in the airport trying to, finish up a work, and she's in the coffee shop while waiting for his flight to start. Now, he decided to, log into the airport Wi-Fi. Unknowingly to David, a criminal has also set up the same airport Wi-Fi with the same name, and then is close by David, right? And immediately David logged into that exact cloned Wi-Fi that the criminal created. The hacker was able to intercept the work emails and the logs into his company server, and then they were able to access important documents. While David was now on flight trying to get to his destination, he realized that someone is already into his work account and is now playing with company information and data. Now, this is what we call the Wi-Fi network spoofing, or maybe man in the middle, or as it may be. So these are scenarios that we all fall prey to on daily basis, right? And because of the increasing happenings of all this, that is why the demand for cybersecurity experts is on the high side, right? On a daily basis, companies are realizing that these boys outside there that are getting smarter, they're looking for ways for them to get into the company's data or database. And by doing that, there is high need for you and I to transition into the cybersecurity world to be able to protect the company's data. So there will always be need for a cybersecurity analyst. There will always be need for someone to protect the information of the company. So far as there is companies coming up on daily basis, there will always be need for you and I in this industry, right? So moving on, we've touched like a couple of scenarios, 3 scenarios that have shown what transpired. Now, do you think Emily, David, and Samantha could have prevented these attacks? Just tell me what you think in the chat box. If you think that these 3 scenarios that we played out, that it could have been prevented, do you think they could have been able to prevent this? Let me hear what you have to say. Yes, God's mind, yes. Ida, Ekereke, yes. Fantastic. Fantastic answers, right? Yes, Afonso, yes. Now, they could have been able to prevent these attacks with the help of cybersecurity, right? So simply, what cybersecurity does for you is that it involves using techniques that help you in securing various digital components, right? Networks, data, and computer systems from unauthorized access. That's what cybersecurity is all about. It basically involves setting up techniques that will help you secure your digital components. And on day-to-day basis, you and I, we practice many cybersecurity without knowing. For example, I know some of us, we have 2-factor authentication on our WhatsApp, on our Instagram, on our emails or so. Now, this is you practicing cybersecurity, right? You want, if someone else wants to log into your account, you want a one-time token, which we call OTP, one-time password, to be sent to your registered number so that you can also authenticate that it's you. And this is you doing cybersecurity on a lower scale without knowing. Now, if you are practicing this mini cybersecurity for yourself, imagine the level of cybersecurity that companies on a global scale practice on a daily basis. I don't know whether you are following me. Are you still following me to this stage? Now, various attacks that they could have been exposed to, like we all mentioned. Number one is the malware attack, like we said. The part where Emily had to download a software without knowing that it's from a malicious site, and by virtue of installing it, she installed that malware into her system, and her system was attacked. Number two is phishing attack, which is fraudulent emails, right? So you've on a daily basis, we can get email from people asking us to okay, log into this, do that. Like David got that she has a discount to buy a voucher online, and she logged in and her credentials was captured. Now these are fraudulent emails phishing attack. Number three, which we call man in the middle attack, that's the unsecured Wi-Fi, where someone has to take over an IP address, which David fall prey to in the airport. And number four, password attack. So these are just some of the attacks that these people were exposed to in these exact scenarios that we painted for you. Now, how can you prevent all these attacks? It's very, very much preventable. Like we all said, they could have been able to prevent these with the help of cybersecurity. And number one thing one of them could have done is to install a firewall that safeguards the network by filtering out what goes in and out. For example, right now, in my system, I have this software called Checkpoint, right? So what it does is that for any download I'm making, Checkpoint is running a check on that software to ensure that, okay, this is clear of any malicious malware, it's clear of anything, you can download it. If there is any malware in that software, Checkpoint is going to block me from being able to download it, right? If I'm clicking anything on the internet that has to put in a code, it's going to run also a check to know, okay, is there a back end where somebody is also taking these details out from the system, right? And these are things that we can all do on a higher scale for companies, right? For you to be, for example, the financial sector is one of the main area where cybersecurities are always in high demand, because all these attacks, they are always targeted at these guys. Everybody wants to hit the banks, everybody wants to hit the fintechs and do away with their money. So there is constant need for cybersecurity experts in this space. Number two is honeypot, right? Dummy computer system to attract attackers. So what this actually means is that possibly for a bank with a larger scale, they'll have systems and they will leave one open and then fortify one. So what they do by that honeypot is that people that are attacking them is going to see that one that is open, and they are going to attack it. Because they feel, oh, this will left their system open without knowing that it's just a honeypot to trap them. So once they attack the system, the bank is going to see them, and then they are going to now, blacklist them in their exact main systems. So why they are trapped here, they're now applying defensive measures, defensive mechanism in their own main system. So these are some of the techniques that we use to help and optimize security in our places. Number three is use of unique alphanumeric passwords, right? There are some sites that when you want to create an account, they will ask you, okay, your password has to be more than 8. It has to need to have a capital letter and a small letter. It's not going to be only numbers. It's going to be number and alphabet, and you need a symbol as well. Now, these things are done so that it will be very hard for anybody to easily guess your password. I hope nobody on this call is making use of their birthday or their names or their phone numbers as password anywhere, right? There is high need for you to be able to make sure that your password is alphanumeric, okay, so that you can easily safeguard yourself from attacks. All right. Then also antivirus installation, right? once you install antivirus in your systems or digital applications, there is that security for you that at any point that a virus is about to, when you're installing any software, it scans that exact software to know, okay, is there a virus that is going to infest this system? If there is one, they're going to detect and block it out for you. And then also avoid emails from unknown senders. Avoid email from unknown senders. All right. So if you are still with me at this point, just drop a one so that I will know that you have been following me till this exact moment. So if you've been with me till this exact time, just drop a one. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of one in chat box. Fantastic. I like being able to engage my people so that I'll be sure that you are following me. Okay, if you have any question at any point, just write it down so that at the end of the session, you can easily ask your question. Now, organizations also experience cyber attacks, right? And their own is on a higher scale, right? They experience things like advanced persistent threats where consistently hackers are trying to, get into the system, right? For a prolonged period of time, right? So this is what we call advanced persistent threats. Someone is constantly hitting on you to be able to get access to your system. And then we also have the DDoS, that's distributed denial of service, where multiple targeted attacks to flood a network, right? People are constantly targeting one network. Maybe they're trying to overload the exact site so that when the site collapses, they can now attack. So this is what we call DDoS. And of course, we also have the SQL injection attack. Now, SQL is structured query language where hackers manipulate the SQL query in a database website, possibly a place like Jumia. When hackers have access to their system, what they're going to do is that they are going to change if the cost of the item they want to buy is possibly $1,000. They're going to manipulate the SQL query and change it maybe to $1. And they are going to pay $1. Why the exact Jumia is still going to be seeing, oh, this person paid $1,000. So these are SQL injection attacks that exist, and where people alter the SQL table that exists in the databases. So these are some certain attacks that companies experience, and that is why there is big challenge for companies, right? Because of these persistent threats, because of these DDoS attacks, because of the SQL injection attack, there is need for cybersecurity to neutralize them, right? There is not much difference between a cybersecurity and the hacker. Now, these are people that have decided to use their skills for good, right? For example, someone can be using we are doing penetration tests. Penetration test is basically you trying to get access into a system, and if you're doing it legally, at the point that okay, if you get access to it, you're now going to present your report to the company, and they are going to block that penetration. But at the point where you're doing it illegally, that is you trying to hack their system. All right. So because of this increasing attacks, because of this increasing smart people everywhere, we call it a lot of things in different places. So because of these increasing attacks, there is high need for cybersecurity experts who are needed to identify these threats and be able to neutralize them, right? And multiple roles actually exist in the cybersecurity field. We have ethical hackers, like I mentioned. These are hackers that are ethical. They identify vulnerabilities and resolve them, right? We also have security architects. They design robust structures so that they can be able to build defensive mechanisms around threats that are going to experience. We also have information security managers. We have cyber security engineers. We have network security engineers. And of course, we have the chief information security officer, who is the person that is entrusted with the overall security of the company, right? So there are multiple areas, there are multiple roles that exist in the cybersecurity field. You just have to be able to say, okay, once you are in, do you want to be a network security expert? Do you want to be an application security expert? Do you want to be an ethical hacker? Do you want to be a security architect? So basically, all these things exist. The way we have several arms in medicine, we have surgeons, we have optometrists, we have a lot of them, dentists. That's how we also have so many arms inside cybersecurity field. Now, because of this increasing need for cybersecurity experts, because of these increasing attacks on companies, there is higher need for cybersecurity experts. And how can you be able to become a cybersecurity expert? You have to be able to get the necessary skills that you need, right? You need to be able to get acquainted with analytics, right? So that we can train you and increase your ability to be able to be in the space. Now, with the increase in the production of global digital data, it is anticipated that cyber attacks will quadruple in the near future. My colleague Adedola will still come in to show us some of the attacks that have happened in the past, and which is part of the reasons why there is increased cybersecurity analysts earn higher than some people because of these persistent attacks, right? And also, organizations will need cybersecurity experts to prevent them. So you have to join analytics for you to get the necessary skills that you need. So at this point, I'm going to call my colleague Adedola to walk us through why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other tech roles, right? He's going to tell us, okay, these are the reasons why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other tech roles. Adedola, I don't know whether you're still on the call. This is your cue. Okay, fantastic. I can see you now. You have the floor, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Chukwemeka. In fact, I enjoyed listening to in fact your session. Very insightful. You said it all. In fact, and one interesting thing is that these bad guys they look for interesting stuff like crown jewels. All right, and that's the more reason why cybersecurity, when you transition into this field, you would always have you have jobs, you have reasons to be grateful when you look back. So the thing is that the future is now. All right. So let me just ask those of us on the call. I welcome you all to this interesting session where I'll be telling us why cybersecurity earns more than other disciplines in the tech space. So if you want to earn more this year, I need you to drop a one in the comment section. Just drop a one that yes, I want to earn more. I want to earn more. Just drop a one in the comment section. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Look at, I see a lot of ones there. That is it. That is the spirit.
I dropped a one too. I want to earn more.
You want to earn more?
I dropped one.
All right. That's so good. All right. Do you want me to share my screen? Okay, let me. Okay, just give me a moment.
All right. While we're waiting for Adedola to share his screen, my colleague just dropped the attendance sheet in the chat box. So please ensure to fill the attendance form so that you will be able to get the slide at the end of the session, and so that you can also get the recording at the end of the session. All right. So please ensure to fill the attendance form. Hi, Adedola, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you. Just I need to put it in. All right. So why cybersecurity analysts are paid more in the tech roles, more than other tech roles. All right. Now let's look at this. This is a business analyst, right, who earns 52,000 pounds in UK, 74,000 in Canada, in US. That's pretty much the average that a business analyst earns in those regions. And if you look at what a financial analyst also earns in these regions is between 51,000 and 74,000 dollars. Then you look at a data analyst, all right, you stand a chance of earning 40,000 pounds. And in Canada, you can earn $64,000, in US, 72,000. If you look at UK HR analytics, for that you earn 32. In Canada, you earn in this within the 70,000 bracket, and in the US, $62,000. All right. Now let's look at the other roles. As a full stack, data scientist, you stand a chance of earning that 55,000 pounds. In Canada, that amount. In US, 121. Now let's move straight to data engineer. You can earn 65,000 pounds in Canada, in US. Look at that amount. But now let's look at what a cybersecurity analyst earns. You can earn 57,000 pounds in UK. In Canada, 140,000, and in the US, that's a staggering amount of 105,000 dollars. All right, and that's just to give you an average. All right, you can as well earn more than that. Very, very possible. Now, why is it that a cybersecurity analyst stands that chance of earning that much? Now, we need to pay a close attention to the evolving threat landscape. And what do I mean by the threat landscape? Every now and then, technology keeps evolving. And as long as technology keeps evolving, it will keep giving rise to increase in cyber threats. All right, in cyber threats. So there's an ever-growing regulatory landscape, all right, and continued gaps, all right, in resources, in knowledge and talent. In fact, because of this, it's very important for you guys to know that there is so much demand. Chukwemeka talked about demand exceeding supply, and that is what happens in economics. For those of us that did economics, all right, when demand outweighs supply, definitely the price would go up, and that is why we have a shortage in terms of the talent for cybersecurity. Then again, hackers, they are beginning to use a lot of technologies that use AI, machine learning, and all that kinds of technology to launch increasingly sophisticated attacks. All right. Then again, talking about regulators, we need to comply, and for that, for you not to be sanctioned by regulators, you need to put in place some privacy laws, privacy engineering, and the like. So looking at this slide, advanced threats, AI-powered adversaries, complex supply chain vulnerabilities, and sophisticated ransomware tactics. So I've already talked about that cyber criminals now make use of what? AI, machine learning kinds of technology to launch the attacks. By the time we round up with this session, I will show us, in real time, what is happening all over the world with respect to cyber attacks. Then again, expanding attack surface, all right? Because of an increased cloud adoption, IoT proliferation, remote work trends, these days, a lot of us, we work from home, all right? You connect from home. If you're not working from home, you do hybrid. Now, that connection between you working from home and you being able to access resources from your office, whether you are using VPN or whatever, whether you are that connection needs to be encrypted end to end. So that also creates a kind of we call it an attack surface, all right, that could be leveraged by a cyber criminal. All right. Then again, geopolitical tensions, the rise of state-sponsored cyber attacks. So I will show us in real time what is happening with respect to the state-sponsored kind of cyber attacks. Now let's look at these statistics. It's very important. Yeah. So worldwide, all right, cyber crime costs, they are estimated to hit 10.5 trillion in dollars annually by 2025. And it's no joke. Why? Because the executives, the CEOs, they are looking at this, and they are worried. All right, and that is why at that level, they are investing into cybersecurity. They are investing, as they are investing into IT infrastructure, they're also investing into cybersecurity to curtail, all right, the impact of, because come to think of it, if there is a cyber security attack, if there is a cyber attack or a data breach, it can actually hamper on the business operations, all right, such that, when there's data exfiltration, you can also be sanctioned. So all of these keep, in executives, it gives them a sleepless nights and the reason for them to put their houses in order. The next is global spending on cybersecurity products and services is predicted to reach $1.75 trillion cumulatively for the 5-year period from 2021 to 2025. Now, 70% of cybersecurity professionals reported that the organizations are understaffed. You can see that. So there is a shortfall in the supply of cybersecurity professionals. However, the demand keeps, and that's why cybersecurity professionals, they are never out of job. You can never be out of job. There's always job for you, and I'll show you what those roles are. All right, then 54% of companies say the IT department are not sophisticated enough to handle advanced cyber attacks. Companies with about 500 to 1,500 employees ignore and don't investigate. All right, 27% of all the alerts. Financial services have a 449,855 exposed sensitive files. 36,004 of which are open to everyone in the organization. That is to tell you that there is data almost everywhere. And it's because of the seamlessness in terms of the way organizations now share data. You share data with your third-party vendors, remote working is also, so there is data in almost the nook and cranny, not just within your local network, your local area network, but also on the web. All right, so this is the highest when comparing industry. Then again, the average ransomware payout has increased dramatically from $812,380,000 in 2022 to $1.5 in 2023. Interesting statistics there. Now let's look at why that kind of gap in terms of salary when it comes to IT and cybersecurity. We mentioned some of this earlier, but let me just bring it to your attention. When we talk about cybersecurity professional, your focus area is very wide. All right, it's very wide, and your responsibility cuts across you identifying areas of weaknesses, vulnerabilities, all right, and how to strengthen, all right, your IT assets. And not just that, you are also responsible for identifying, developing strategies, all right, to prevent, to detect, to mitigate cyber threats, all right. While IT, the focus area of IT is mainly on, focusing on how to manage, how to process, how to store, transmit data, and all of that. So you can say that the role or the responsibility or the importance of a cybersecurity professional cannot be overemphasized. Your role is very important. Your role is, I'm in that space, and I can tell you for free that cybersecurity is a big business. It's a big issue. All right. And in fact, and that's why we need more of you guys to come join us. The work is so much. You can see I have my sleeves rolled up. I've been working since morning. So there is always work for you guys. Please come. All right. Now, again, companies are willing. They are willing to invest more in highly trained and experienced cybersecurity expert. But don't worry, you don't have to have that skill yet. And that is why we are having this conversation. As you transition, as you join the Tenalytics cybersecurity course, we are going to train you, from the beginner stage to the intermediate to the advanced. We are going to show you everything that you need to know. We are going to share materials with you. We are going to share even the tooling. We are going to expose you to everything that you need to know. So you don't need to worry about that. All right. So then again, now looking at this, is okay. I think we've talked about this. Let's move on. Now, why cybersecurity analyst earns more than other tech roles? Number one, I see here is because of your specialized skill set. Your specialized skill set. And when we talk about skill set, it's so wide. All right, it's so wide. Cybersecurity analysts, you require specialized knowledge. You require specialized skill for you to be able to add value to your organization, for you to be able to protect your organization from cyber threats. So as such, you need to understand the various types of attacks, the vulnerabilities, the defense mechanisms. The specialized skill set actually helps you to command higher salary. And what we're going to also expose you to is the various frameworks, the various models. All right. It's not just about we're not teaching you just theory. We're also going to expose you to the practical side of it. So at Analytics, we are going to handhold you, to transitioning into the various cybersecurity roles. The next is high demand. Yes, your cybersecurity as a career, all right, you will always be in high demand. So with the increasing frequency and the kind of sophistication that we have in cyber attacks, there is high demand for skilled cybersecurity professionals, all right? And we can see clearly that organizations across various industries are beginning to prioritize the need for them to do or to protect sensitive data and maintain. So it's not just limited to financial services. We are also there's demand in manufacturing, there's demand in services, even education. You can also be I'm going to but let me just mention to you the various roles that you can eventually find yourself in cybersecurity. You can be an application security engineer, where you will be trying to find vulnerabilities in API connections, whether they are threats or vulnerabilities in mobile applications, web applications. So that will expose you to how to use database activity monitoring, how to make use of web application firewalls, and the like. So you can also find yourself as a system security engineer, all right, where your responsibility will be how to fortify, all right, how to fortify our systems, how to fortify endpoints, how to fortify your servers, such that you make the what I call you make it difficult for the attacker to be able to break into the system. Then you can also find yourself in database security or data security. You can also find yourself as a cybersecurity governance person or compliance person or data privacy, or as a program manager in the security space. You can also be a network security engineer, a cloud security engineer, a threat intelligence or a threat hunter. You can also be a vulnerability management or a penetration tester or a red team operator. You can be a security operations analyst, an incident response analyst. You can also be a digital forensics or an investigator, a cybersecurity architect, a security auditor, a security awareness, a trainer, even a lecturer. All right. So you can see that there are so many areas where you will always find yourself. All right. Then the next is critical role. All right, critical role. And when I say critical role, you know, your role is very, very important. All right. So that's because cybersecurity plays, you know, an important role in safeguarding. All right. So you can never be out of job. You will always be relevant. All right. That's because your role requires you to safeguard organizations' digital assets, all right, or its IT assets. So you'll be required to implement security controls, whether physical control or logical control. You know, that responsibility will always be there. And of course, infrastructure. All right. So a successful cyber attack can result in, you know, significant financial losses, and the business executives, they know that. It can also damage their reputation. It can also lead to legal consequences. And that is why they would always need your services. They will always need your services. So that's why organizations, they are willing to invest in top talent to mitigate this risk. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to prepare you, all right? We're going to mold you and shaping you into, you know, not just an enthusiast, but a professional within the cybersecurity space. Now, next is compliance requirements. Compliance requirements. You know, when we talk about compliance, we're talking about HIPAA, we're talking about, you know, GDPR, these PCI DSS, the ISOs. You know, you will always, in fact, in my office today, I had a meeting, all right, on data protection. You know, that's because, you know, that role, you know, in terms of you becoming a cybersecurity professional will always attract, you know, the kind of job that you want, that you are looking for. So next is continuous learning. Continuous learning. All right. So in the field of cybersecurity, you know, it is so dynamic, and, you know, constantly it keeps evolving. And cybersecurity analysts, you have to you have to stay updated with the latest, you know, threats, the trends, the technologies, the kind of tools that these guys are using. All right. So we're going to expose you to all of these tools and the kind of approach, you know, that these guys use. All right. And how, you know, it's saying that if you want to catch a thief, you also have to do like a thief. All right. You have to simulate. So I want to teach you how to simulate attacks. All right. So there are various approaches you can use. The PASTA methodology, you can use the stride, you can use the MITRE attack. So depending on what the approach you want to use. All right. Then let's move on. Then how can you earn as a cybersecurity analyst? How can you earn as a cybersecurity analyst? Now, education is very important. And I'm so glad that Chukwemeka mentioned it. You don't have you don't need to have a degree, you know, in computer science or computer engineering or even in cybersecurity. No, you know, as you are fine. You are very fine. You don't need to get so, but what we're going to do is when you come to 10 analytics, we are going to train you. We are going to train you. So because cybersecurity is beyond having, you know, certificates. You know, the education part is very important. It is very, very important. So you need to get the cybersecurity education by enrolling for courses to get you started. You know, this year, I don't know what your plan is, but make sure, whatever your plan is, make sure that one of your plans, okay, is to you know, switch or to transition into the cybersecurity space. And 10 Analytics, all right, the courses that we have, they're going to help you, all right, to grow your career from the beginner stage to the advanced stage. So the trainers, all right, we're going to teach you, we're going to mentor you, all right, until you can stand on your own. So The point here is that you don't need to have a degree. You don't need to have a degree. All right. Next is build practical skills. You need to build practical skills. All right. So at Analytics, we are going to show you. All right. But what is very, very important is that you need to have that willingness. You need to have that willingness. It's better. You know, I said willingness is good, but that ability is also better. So we need your willingness. We also need you to be able, all right, and that ability we are going to teach you, all right, on you being able to make use of the practical labs, you know, for you to be hands-on, all right. We're going to teach you. Then again, you need to be very intentional about building your skills. Your foundation determines what you build on it. You know, when you have a foundation that is very solid, you can go very far. You can go very far. And in this session, I know I'm speaking with CISOs. I'm speaking with CISOs. Yes, I know I'm speaking with CISOs. So if you want to become a CISO, drop a 2 in the chat. I want to be a CISO. All right. CISO. CISO means Chief Information Security Officer. Yes. As a CISO, you can earn as much as $150,000. Yes. As a CISO, you can earn that much. Yes. So if you want to earn that much, just drop a 2. Just drop a 2. Just drop a 2. All right. So, but you need to be hands-on. You need to be hands-on. All right. We're going to help you to set up your labs. We're going to help you to set up your labs. All right. Sorry.
Yes.
All right. All right. So the next is sorry about that. It's my you know, you're at home. All right. Next is networking. All right. So in the class, you know, it's not just only you. All right. We're going to have we have a couple of other guys like you. All right, where you'll be able to network with, share ideas. All right. So we usually have group sessions. So I'm going to group you, share ideas. We're going to discuss scenario discussions, case studies. The way Chukemeka has, you know, explained it, those 3 scenarios. We're going to have things that, you know, scenarios that will help you, that are relatable, that will help you to assimilate and understand better. All right. So you don't need to worry. Everything that you need, we are going to give you, or when you come to Tenalect, when you join the class. All right. So then again, what else? Internship and volunteering. Yes, internship and volunteering. This is another way you can earn. You can earn that much, that high. All right, in the cybersecurity space. All right, by doing internship or seeking entry level positions. All right, it will help you to gain real world experience. All right, that's because even at times companies hire from their pool of interns. All right, they hire from their pool of interns. So Analytics will provide you with a platform that you need to scale up. You know, in when you provision servers, you know, you can start with 2, you can start with 3, and then you begin to scale it. So you don't need to know much as you are. Just register for the course, and then we begin to train. We take you from the basics, from the very from the fundamentals, and then we begin to build on it, you know, until you are able to stand on your own. Then develop soft skills. You know, I always say something that, yes, technicality is good, very good. You need to be technical when it comes to cybersecurity, but again, your communication is also very important. So we're also going to help you, you know, with your written and verbal communication skills. All right. So in cybersecurity, you need to be able to explain complex stuff. All right. So And then, of course, your ability also showcase your ability, to think critically and solve, problems, complex problems efficiently. So, and again, we usually have sessions to help you develop your CV, because your presentation is very important. You might know what to say, you might know what to, at the interview sessions, but again, how are you able to, so everything, we have mentoring class, we also have, interview sessions, that will prepare you for that next job, that next role that you are looking for, and of course, to earn more than you are currently earning. All right. Continuous learning, we cannot overemphasize the importance of continuous learning. That's because continuous learning is very, very key for you to stay ahead, or stay relevant. When it comes to staying relevant in cybersecurity, you have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. So that's because the knowledge is crucial and is very, very important. Not just for you to pass your interviews, but for you in your day-to-day work. You need to understand what is happening out there. All right. So you need to understand the emerging technologies, the impact of AI on cybersecurity, the impact of robotics, the impact of drones technology. All of these technologies, they have their impact on cybersecurity. All right. By the time you transition into cybersecurity, you have your business stakeholders who are always doing what? Churning out, rolling out various products. And all of these products, they come with their own risks. So how do you put things in place to ensure that, yes, we have enough security controls? So as you transition, we're going to train you on how to go about that. All right. So let me just quickly show you guys something. All right. What is happening in the out there. Just a moment. Just a moment. All right. All right. So now looking at, let me show you what is happening here. This is a live, we call it a live cyber threat map. Now this tells you the importance of your role as a cybersecurity professional. You can see in real time, attacks between countries. We call this cyber warfare. All right, between countries, between China and the US. In fact, before this session started, you'll be surprised that even Nigeria, attacks from US to Nigeria, it is real. And the thing is that we don't have enough hands. So we need you guys to come and join the team of cybersecurity professionals who will make our organizations a safer place. All right. So this risk, they can be malware attack. You can see malware, phishing. It can also be exploit. All right. So exploit is where a cyber attacker, tries to do what? To look for vulnerabilities. And not just, when we say vulnerability is a weakness. All right. A weakness in a system. And when there's a weakness in a system, what an attacker tries to do is to see how they can exploit that vulnerability. So that is what. So we are going to show you all of this when you register and you come to class. All right. So my encouragement to you guys is that you don't delay. Why? Because the future is now. Take advantage of this class. All right. Chukwemeka will take over from here and will tell us more about how you can take advantage of this class. You register and prepare yourself. Just give yourself a space of 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 months, and you see yourself, in the cybersecurity space. All right. It is my desire to see you in class. All right. Let's do some things together and see how you can make more money this year. All right. Make more money this year. That is the idea. All right. So at this point, I wish you guys all the best and see you in class. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adedola. Well, fantastic one. I don't know who is excited. I don't know who feels like, oh, there is need for me to understand how this cyber threat map works. There is need for me to understand how to use Bob suit to prevent attacks. There is need for me to be able to be in this exact place that we have demand that is on a high side. Adedola will have said quite a lot of things. But I'm just going to, share my screen now so that we can round up and take some of the questions that we have. But I'm going to quickly touch on one question that somebody asked, whether we can train him to write the CEH exam, that's Certified Ethical Hacker. Now, one thing that we try as much as possible to make a standard in analytics is that we give you the competencies over certification, right? Now, it's one thing for someone to just practice and learn and study to pass an exam. It's another thing for somebody to practice and know how to perform on a job, right? And the truth is that the tech ecosystem, especially the cybersecurity world, is filled with competencies over certification, right? There are first things that you need to do first. And number one amongst it is to get that competence, right? You need to understand the introduction to cybersecurity. You need to understand everything that has to do with cybersecurity. You learn the tools that cybersecurity experts use, like the checkpoints, before you now start looking at the certifications, right? And this is why some people actually struggle to land jobs, because these days what most of us do is anything that comes out, we just rush. There's MBA, we jump, we get MBA, or there's DBA, we jump, get DBA, or there is new course, we jump and get it, right? Without actually learning the exact tools and competencies that is in that area. So what we do internally is to first of all equip you with the knowledge for you to be a skilled cybersecurity expert, right? Then we assist you to get a job. Now, when you are already in a job, you now start writing certifications, right? Because there are entry roles, there are beginner roles that you're going to start with. Somebody is not going to jump into cybersecurity and the first thing that they're going to do is, oh, let me get CEH certification, right? That's Certified Ethical Hacker. No, you need to get the knowledge first, and then you can now gradually, climb the ladder. Now we have a couple of other questions in the chat box, so please hang on.
Can I just add to what you've said?
All right, please go ahead.
Yes. So now, CEH has dumps that even without it does not make you competent. It does not make you skilled. That's the truth. All right. You can actually, they have dumps that you can just study and then go for the exam and pass, but it does not still make you a seasoned or a competent or a skilled cybersecurity professional. So yes, Chukwemeka, you are very, very correct. All right. What we do at Analytics is to prepare you from the base, as in we assume that you don't have any knowledge about cybersecurity, so we train you. That is what happens in class. It's but just reading past questions to go for, it's really not the best approach. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, but thank you for the support. So other questions in the chat box, so please just keep it on. We are going to come to you. Let's just run through the session, and then we'll have the Q&A time where we take everyone's question. All right. So how can you get into this career path of cybersecurity, right? So we've already said a lot about who a cybersecurity analyst is, right? He's someone that plays a crucial role in protecting the organization's computer systems and networks from cyber attacks. We've already mentioned how much they earn in UK, how much they earn in Canada, how much they earn in USA. Now, let me just run you through the key learning areas that you are going to be experiencing when you join Analytics. And number one in it is introduction to cybersecurity, right? Like I mentioned initially, our courses are structured in a way that we start from ground zero and gradually build you up to the highest expert level that you need to be in, right? So this introduction to cybersecurity is the area where we bring everyone into from. You get, so even if you have maybe beginner knowledge initially or you have intermediate knowledge, we still treat everyone from the ground zero so that we can be able to carry everyone along, right? And after that introduction to cybersecurity, where we talk about the CIA triad, that's the main foundation on which cybersecurity is built, we now move to foundations of computing and networking, right? After it moves to information security principles, where we talk about ISO standards, and then offensive and defensive cybersecurity, which basically deals about how you build defensive mechanism to avoid threats and how you carry out offensive attacks like penetration tests for you to test systems vulnerability, right? So these are things, key learning area that you are going to experience in our classroom. And the amazing thing about this is that it is fully case study based, right? So if you are doing something in offensive and defensive cybersecurity, you are going to be having case studies that you are working with. It's not just we'll come to class and say, okay, offensive cybersecurity is this, defensive cybersecurity is that. No, you will have real life case studies that you get to work with. And also, we now move to cryptographic basics and then cyber threats and attack vectors. And we now, also touch base with network security, endpoint security, web and application security. Remember, like I mentioned initially, in cybersecurity, there are so many arms. You can decide to specialize in network security, can decide to specialize in endpoint or application security, but we still make sure that we give you all this knowledge so that you will be able to decide where you want to be in, right? And all these things is something that we carry out within a period of 4 months. And also, there's a key learning area on cloud security, incident response and forensic, cyber security policies and compliance, where you have to deal with the NDPR if you're in Nigeria and GDPR if you're in the UK or if you're in Europe generally. So basically, we touch base with everything that you need as a cybersecurity expert from the initial stage to the expert stage, right? And the learning timeline is 4 months, where you have a massive 3 months classroom learning, where you're going to be talking to facilitators like myself and Ade Dolapo, and then it's going to be a one-on-one conversation. The way we are having classes now, that's how our classes run, that you are going to see your facilitator one-on-one, and then you will also have lifetime access to the recordings, where you get to also rewatch these videos over and over again in case you miss the class, or in case there is maybe a topic that you didn't quite get very well. You can always go back to the Google Classroom and have access to it. Now, after the immersive 3 months learning, you will now have a 1 month internship with us, where you also get to work with real world projects, right? Excuse me. Where you get to work with real life projects that is fully case study based. And you'll be making use of tools like VMware, Metasploit, Zap, Bobsuit, Wireshark, and checkpoints like Adidolabo showed us, where you will be working on virtual environments to be able to function as a cyber security expert. So our learnings, if you look at our learnings, trust me, you cannot going to get these exact key learning areas anywhere. I'm going to beat my chest on that. You are not going to get this anywhere. And all these we complete within a space of 4 months for you. Now, why should you train with us? All these things I've been saying, why exactly do you need to train with us, right? Now, number one reason why you should train with us is because we have phenomenal achievements helping people get jobs. It's one thing to teach someone a knowledge. It's another thing to be able to help the person transition and get jobs. We've helped over 2,000 people transition from the classroom into their first job in Africa, Canada, Europe, UK, US, Asia, and we have a track record of remarkable success over the last 4 years that we've been in practice, right? And we also have industry standard facilitators and curriculum. Now, imagine like someone like Adedolapo teaching you in the classroom. Adedolapo is the head of cybersecurity governance in one of the topmost banks in Nigeria. Now, these are seasoned experts that we bring into the classroom to help you navigate and understand what cybersecurity is all about, and for you to be able to also have real life experiences of what these guys have felt on the field and the case studies that they are currently working on. You are going to also have access to them. Now, like I mentioned initially, we have a blended training model to accommodate every learning type, right? And that's a combination of live classes and recorded videos. Right? So the way you are conversing with me right now is the way the classes are going to run every Saturdays and Sundays. And then these classes are also recorded and they are uploaded to your Google Classroom that you have lifetime access to it. Forever, you have access to it. So even at the point where you miss classes, you always have recourse to go back and have access to the video and bring yourself up to speed. And of course, our sessions are tailored to position you to land your jobs, right? I'll still get to our employability part where I'll explain it vividly. But we've designed power pack strategies that is going to help you land your job in tech, ranging from CV review sessions, LinkedIn optimization, interview prep, and so much more. Now, this is not all just it, right? We still have what we call the additional employability services that we provide for you. Now, this is excluding everything that we've done relating to giving you the cybersecurity skills that you need. We are also going to equip you and have CV review sessions where we tailor your CV to look and be able to be ATS compliant. That's applicant tracking system, right? So this is the first phase where most applicants are actually sieved out. And it's because they've not tailored their CV to be in compliance to the role they are applying to. Now, why most people also struggle to get jobs is because they've trivialized job applications, right? They have made applications to be in a way that the same CV that they use to apply for business analyst, the same CV that is using to apply for a data engineer, or the same CV that is using to apply for a whole lot of things, right? Even if you have all this knowledge, there is need for you to tailor your CV to the exact job that you are applying. And these are things that we are going to teach you in the classroom and make sure that you can easily on your own tailor your CVs to reflect the jobs you are applying to. Number two in our employability services is LinkedIn optimization. Now, we have LinkedIn optimization where we help you optimize your LinkedIn for recruiters to be able to see you. In today's world, the most focal points that recruiters headhunt from most times is from LinkedIn. I had a friend that's currently in the business analysis program, right? And she joined January. No, she joined in January. And after her LinkedIn optimization session, she's still in the class and recruiters already reached out to her. She got the job, but she was not able to take it because she's still in school and she have limited number of hours to work. But she is already getting jobs after 1 month in the classroom. Now, from it, we'll now move towards Upwork optimization. If you want to play as maybe a cybersecurity contractor in the freelance space, this is the angle that you get to, and will help you optimize your Upwork so that you can easily land all these contracts. You can be in Nigeria and you're working in UK. You can be in Nigeria, you can be in Ghana, you can be anywhere and be working. You now become a global talent that you can easily get access to any of these locations. Number four is basically how to navigate the job market, right? How do you navigate the job market? It's one thing to understand the skill that you need, but it's another thing for you to be able to understand that this is how the job market works. And that is part of what we are going to provide to you in our employability services. And we also have what we call the job and interview prep sessions, where if you get a job interview, we are here to prepare you for the interview. There are mechanisms, there are framework we use in preparing. If someone asks you, Chukwemeka, tell me about yourself, how do you answer it? We have the SEET framework where you have to use the SEET approach to define and explain who you are. It's not, or if someone asks, Chukwemeka, who are you? And I start with, oh, my name is Chukwemeka, I'm from Nigeria, my parents this. Nobody cares about all those stories, right? So it's important for you to understand how you can easily tailor all your responses to be in tandem with what recruiters need to hear. We also provide recommendation letters and reference letters, right? I think as of today, we're able to work on close to 10 reference letters from our past students. So if you have need for references that you worked with us, we are here to provide it for you. And the level 2 of this employability services, which I see as the power-packed session, is the weekly mentorship sessions. Now, we have every Thursday, we provide mentorship sessions. We bring experts in the industry to the class. We bring past alumni back to the classroom to tell you how they were able to navigate this exact terrain that you're still working on. They are going to handhold you. Now, some of us, we struggle to break into the tech industry. And it's basically because we do have a mentor starting up. So you see stories or you hear stories of people that they were rigmaroling for close to 2 years and they were not able to break into the industry because nobody held their hands and told them, okay, this is what you need to do. If MongoDB comes up, people will jump and learn. If Looker comes, people will jump and learn. But then we still lack the mentorship. We still lack the mentors that are going to help us show us the ropes so that we can easily climb this ladder. And number 8 is on-the-job support. Even if you get a job and you do not have the necessary skills to be able to perform yet, we are here to help you with 1 month on-the-job support so you can easily settle in on the job. And level 3, which is our promise to you, and basically it is that 1 month after completing your training with us, we guarantee you 1 job interview. I can beat my heart and tell you this, that all the students that we trained, 1 month, before 1 month, that even before they are done with their sessions, they constantly get job interviews. And this is because we've molded them to be able to have the competency. We've equipped them to have the employability skills that they need. Now, recruiters are the ones that are seeking out to them. Just stay on the call. We are going to hear a lot of success stories in the past. And this is our past students that have actually walked this exact road that you are trying to get into, so that you know that it's not just talk. We have this proper big slogan that is currently running, which is you can explain no evidence. But in our case, we have lots and lots of evidence to show you. So there are things that we've also optimized and new initiatives that we brought in this 2024 to make sure that you are fully equipped with everything that you need. Number 1, like I mentioned initially, is Body Mentorship Hub, where we bring in past alumni of analytics to be able to tell you. I think yesterday we had a body mentorship program where past alumni in data analytics came to data analytics, people in data engineering came to data engineering, people in business analytics came. So as the program they passed out through, they came back for them to tell the current students a day in the life of a data analyst, a day in the life of a business analyst, a day in the life of a cybersecurity analyst. Now, the current students, even though they are still students, they've had a real life eye into what people actually do on these roles, right? So these past students came in and talked to them, explained to them, and they were able to also network. And these are things that we offer you to help you navigate this exact job market that we are currently in. Number 2 is enhanced internship experience. So after your classes, we also provide you with internship experiences, 1 month internship for cybersecurity, where will help you build up your portfolio so that you have a lot of projects that you are going to showcase that you've worked on, right? And number 3 of this initiative is basically we've partnered with recruiters recruiting agencies in UK, Canada, US, and Africa. And these include Robert Hash, Harvey Nash, Michael Page, where we have students, alumni that passed the program after their capstone project, after their internship. They are in this pool where if recruiters reach out to us that, oh, I need a cybersecurity expert, we can instantly avail to them, any of you, right? So far as you completed your program, did your capstone project, finish your internship, you will be in a pool that once recruiters come to us, analytics, we need 3 cybersecurity analysts. We are going to go to that pool and make sure that we avail you to them. And this is why we have that level 3 promise that I mentioned earlier, which is 1 month after your program, we must get you a job interview. And that is because we know we have partnership with recruitment agencies in UK, Canada, US, and other countries, right? Now, like I mentioned initially, our next cohort is starting next week. It's starting next week, 2nd March 2024, right? And basically, I have a discount for you, but by virtue of staying on the call till this exact moment, I have a discount for the first 10 people to register for this exact program. Now, for our cybersecurity program, it is $900, £750. That's the full amount. But because you are here, I have a discounted amount for you, which is what I'm recommending for everyone, right? Which is $750, £725. And you can also make a first payment, which is $550 to secure this discounted price. Then 1 month into the program, you can now make up the second payment that you need to make. So my colleague Lydia is going to drop the payment up link, which is the main start link in the chat box. But I'm going to walk us through how to navigate this exact payment, right? So once you get the link and you click on it, I'm clicking on it. So I'm going to share my screen again so that I can bring it up. All right. So stay with me. My screen is coming up. All right. It's still coming up. It's coming up. Okay. So Lydia has dropped the link. So try and make sure you key into this exact discounted pricing so that you will not be asked to make the full payments, right? So it's important for you to take the opportunity and make the move and be amongst the first 10 people to make payments. Remember, you have the option of doing a first payment and then doing the subsequent payment. So once you click on the link, it's going to bring you to this page where you're going to see the payment options. You can see for cybersecurity, the full amount is $900, £750, 1,260 Canadian dollar, or 1,080,000 naira. But because you are on this call, we have discounts for you, right? And the truth is that most times what happens is that after after sessions like this, these slots are easily filled, right? These slots are easily filled because people in the master classes are already taking advantage of some of these things. So what I advise you to do is to click on the link and make payments. You can secure these options using the first payment option, which is $550, £460, 800 Canadian dollar, or 660,000 naira. Then 1 month into the program, you can now make the second payment. Once you click that link, you click on this exact option of the program that you're trying to get into, which is cybersecurity. Now, if you click on cybersecurity, it's going to bring a page up for you for payment, right? Now, the way this works is that the site is already designed in a way that it takes note of your location, right? So if you are in Nigeria, you are going to see the option for you to make payments in Naira. If you are in UK, you are going to be seeing the option of making payments in pounds, right? If you are in Canada, you're going to see the option to make payments in Canadian dollars. And if you're in US, you're going to see the option to make payments in US dollars. So once it's loaded, I'm still going to show us what to do once it's loaded. All right, it's still coming up. Please stay with me. All right. So Lydia is still dropping the link. You can follow me while I'm doing it so that you can also have access to this, right? You can follow me while I'm doing this so that you can also, be seeing and also do yours also. All right. Okay, this is taking time to load. I'm going to try again. All right, hang on, please. All right. I'm going to bring up another page for it. Okay, it's coming up right now. It's coming up. All right, all right, all right. Yes, this is more like it. All right, so I'm trying to share my screen again so that we can see how the payment option looks like. All right, so once it's loaded, you are going to see something like this, right? So after you've clicked on the cybersecurity side, you are going to see this option to reserve a seat, right? And what you are seeing here is 900,000, which is the full payment, right? But remember, we told you by virtue of you being on this call, you have the option of making the discounted price. Now, the minimum amount you can pay is 550,000 naira, which is that first option payment, right? And once I click on reserve a seat, it's going to bring up this, right? Okay, let me pay the option of 550,000. Let me pay 550,000. Oh, this has taken me out again. All right, it's coming up. All right. Remember, the minimum I can make is 550,000. Like I told you guys initially, I see what is happening right now. Scanning by zero phishing. So I'm trying to make a payment online, but because I have some checkpoints installed in my system, it will now be able to check any place I'm trying to input anything to know if this is a phishing site. So this is also a cyber mechanism to make sure that I'm not making payments to a site that is not confirmed. I don't know where I can see it. So it's telling me verified by zero phishing to say, okay, this is a verified site, right? So I can now put the amount I want to make payments to. Remember, if you are in UK, you are going to see your own pricing in pounds. If you're in Canada, you see it in Canadian dollars. Anywhere you are, you're going to see your own pricing in that exact style. So I'm going to put my name, Shuku Emeka. With my email address, chukwemeka@gmail.com. Now I'm in Nigeria, so I'm going to select my country's flag. Okay. People should not take my number. That's a joke though. So after I've inputted everything, I will now easily click on proceed, and then it's going to bring out the option for me to complete this exact payment. So it's a seamless process, right? And from this place, I can easily see the option to, okay, I need to put my card details. If I want to make transfer through card, I can do the option of transfer. If I want to make a transfer through transfer, if I want to make a back transfer, I can see the option of bank. If I want to choose a bank to pay, USSD, Visa QR, and pay artist. So if you are making transfer, it simply will bring out option for you to do this, copy the bank account, make the transfer. Or if I'm using card, I'll simply do this, put my card details and click on pay, and instantly it will pay. Now, another thing is that once you are done with payment, right? Once you are done with payment, we always advise everyone to, make sure that you upload your payment receipts, right? So we also have a link that I also have a link there that is going to take you to where to upload your receipts, right? So once you are done making payments, you are going to go back to that main stack link, which I'm going to also show us. So once you're done making payments, you also go back to the main stack link and upload your receipts. Now, this is for us to be able to know that this is you that have made the payment. You attach your payment receipt, and we are going to, contact you and send you your welcome kit and get you prepped for next class. So once you're done making payments, you come here and click on upload your receipt. Can we see my screen? Upload your receipt here. So once you click on it, it's going to give you the option to put your details, just fill in every details that you need to fill in, and then attach the screenshot of the upload. As simple as that, right? As simple as that. Like I mentioned, what happens mostly after sessions like this is that the slots are easily filled. The 10%, the 10 discounted slots that we avail to people are easily filled because everyone is trying to, be able to make payments before the 10 slots are filled. And remember, you can secure your spot by making the first payment. You can secure your spot by making the first payment. Then 1 month into the program, you can now make the second payment, right? So if the class starts starting 2nd March, by the end of March, which if you are trying to enter April, you are expected to make the completed fee. Like I mentioned initially, our classes are fully live classes. On Saturdays, it runs from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And on Sunday, it runs from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. All right. I don't know whether someone is still following me. Now, remember, like I said, this discount is for the first 10 people to register. So ensure you bring out your phone and try to experiment everything I've shown us. Lydia, can you please drop the payments link again for people to be able to see it? All right. So if you have any challenge in making payments, it's also important for you to, call us right now, send a chat, question us right now, raise your hand, and you can be able to, we will answer your question. Advanced asks, what about Euro currency? Yes, Euro, we have the option I showed before, which is basically $900 and £750. At the moment, Euro is not here. Euro is not here. All right. So continuing, this always seems impossible, right? I know when we talk about people getting job 1 month into the classes, it always sounds, oh, these guys are just trying to bubble me, right? So, but I'm going to play some testimonials of past students that we have. Now, but one thing that I want to talk about is also you have access to this slide, right? You can always play any of these success stories, any of it, and be able to hear what past students were able to say about us, right? For Ini got a job as CEO of a tech company after joining analytics, right? And he joined in October 2023 and then completed his training in January 2024 and got a job as a CEO in January 2024. For someone like Nathaniel got a job as a business analyst after he completed a program in October 2023 and he got this role in December 2023. So once you get the slide, you can easily click here for you to have access and watch their videos. Now, let's see what Ini had to say. Right, Ini is the person that got landed the job as a CEO. They said, I'm happy to announce that I'm now the CEO of Growth Stack, right? I'm not the CEO of Growth Stack, and it's a winning award. Okay, an official communication we made by the business. When Growth Stack is an award-winning ERP, I want to thank Analytics for bringing out the ginger in me. Besides the regular way organized structured weekly classes, the other sessions, such as the mentorship sessions, shaped my mind towards success. Though I have been in IT industry for more than a decade, I have done so many projects and training that should have catapulted me above where I was before now. I didn't know how to structure myself, that is optimize my CV for better opportunities. Even with family and friends around me, I still could not show them my words. But after he joined our program, he was able to land a job as the CEO of a company, right? And I can go on, when you get this, like, I can go on to read everything he had to say. And the amazing thing about him is that when he went for this job, he didn't go for the CEO role, right? He went for a manager role, for a position. But when they saw the way his CV was structured because of his experience, the project he has, the skills he acquired, the everything, the business and data science skills that he also acquired, they asked him, can you be the CEO? Can you function as the CEO? And from the managerial position he went for, he moved to being the CEO of that exact company, right? So these are things that our students have to say. But I'm going to play one video. I like playing the video of Ikmat, right? Ikmat, she used to be a stay-at-home mom in the UK, and she was able to transition to become a data analyst with NHS in UK with full sponsored visa. Now, Ikma's story is very amazing because while she was still in the class with us, she got offers, but she was not able to also take it because she had limited time because she was a student in UK, right? But immediately after her program, she got 2 extra offers and she now had to make choices. Okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to select this? Now, these are things that we are telling you that it can also be what you will experience. Now, I'm trying to share my screen so that we can watch the video of Ikmat's story. All right, please tell me when you
Joining
can.
analytics has been
All right,
best
fantastic.
decision.
All right, so just listen.
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat, and I was with the March cohort in Analytics, and joining Analytics has been the best decision so far. You know, for me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new, wanting to go back into the workforce, you know, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot. And then I'm glad that Analytics came along, and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities. And then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that Effie is always saying, it is very, very valid, because place yourself right, you know, don't sell yourself short. It's a very, very, very valid advice. You know, in Analytics, they will hold your hands like a child, you know, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You know, we have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it is the best decision ever, because he was like, he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked, and I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he was mentioning, everything he mentioned, it was just they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, you know, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a math test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student, and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have Analytics to go back to. They are the best, and the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable one I've come across so far. And that's a very good advantage. So yes, analytics for the win.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. I don't know what we heard, if we heard what Ikmat had to say. Ikmat, she was able to transition from a position of a full housewife. I like the way she normally says that she transitioned from being a full housewife into becoming a full data person with visa sponsorship. And 3 months into the program, Ikmat got offers, but she was not able to take it. And immediately after her own program again, she was able to transition. She was now able to have options of, okay, do I select this? Do I select that? Right? And she was able to select the most profitable to her at that point, right? So these testimonies can also be yours, right? But it starts with being able to make that strong decision. We've said a lot of things today about cybersecurity. We've said a lot of things about what is motivating us to want to transition to cybersecurity, but are you willing to make that sacrifice, right? Remember, as Ikmat said, it's not always easy like we think, but we are here to handhold you. We are here to make sure that you get the best of everything that you need, right? Like I mentioned, if you fill the attendance, if you filled the attendance form, you have access to all this, right? We have someone like Akintayo who got a job as CFO in Nigeria after completing his financial analytics program with us, right? According to Akintayo, his multiple interview preps with Nenet Analytics trainee made the difference for him in securing jobs, right? We have someone like Chika. Chika landed a full-time role as a financial analyst in UK. Now, Grace landed her own also as a financial analyst after she completed her analyst program. So she said in her own words that it was the best decision she took in 2023. Now, you can make this decision for yourself today to make that leap into getting a tech role and getting skills as a cyber security analyst, right? So I don't know if anyone has a question at this point. We are willing to take questions so that we can move ahead from here. So if you have question, just use the raise hand icon to raise your hand, and I'm going to call you and we can take your question, or you can also type it in the chat box. All right. While we wait for that, I think Mike, you asked if the classes are only weekend, and you're saying weekend can't work for you. Yes, the classes are fully Saturdays and Sundays, but we have recorded versions of these exact classes, right? So what we encourage people to do is attend the classes while you can, but if you cannot, everything that happened in the class will be recorded, and you have full access to it that you can always watch during your own spare time. And then we have weekly drop-in sessions that happens maybe on Wednesdays or Thursdays, where it happens for like 1 hour. You can come into the class and ask questions on topics that you did not understand, right? So these are things that we've implemented because we know things are going to come up. That people might miss classes. There might be need for people not to be in class because of other job engagements, but we got you covered, all right? So if you have any question, please raise your hand and we are going to call you up. Hi, Evans. Are you still on the call? I don't know whether you've been able to navigate the payment, and since there is no euro currency, whether you have used the dollar, the pound option, or the naira option. Or Evans, if you're on the call, please can you raise your hand so that I'll ask you to unmute, please? Hi, Evans. Are you still on the call? Okay, I've seen you, Evans. All right. Evans, I've asked you to unmute. Do you mind unmuting so that we can, have a conversation? Hi, Evans, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I don't know whether you still have challenges with respect to making payments.
Yeah, I just want to know the procedure for us using the euros.
All right. What I'm going to, I don't know. So none of the other option works for you, the dollar, the pound, and the naira option?
Actually, I've not tried paying. I just wanted to be sure.
Okay. So where currently based?
I'm in Germany now.
Okay, all right. So what's going to happen is that do you mind dropping your email so that somebody can speak to you personally? All right, so that we
Oh,
can
okay.
find this. Just drop it in the chat box, and my colleague is going to pick it up from there. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Evans. All right. So if anybody has question, please just use the raise hand icon, and I am going to ask you to unmute so that we can solve it right here, right now. Or you can also drop it in the chat box. If you have questions relating to cybersecurity, Adedapo is still on the call, and we are willing to take your questions and answer it to our own best knowledge. All right. You all have the floor. All right. All right. I've seen the email. Thank you for that, Evans. I'm going to pick it up from here. Okay. Abasie Keme, I don't know whether you have question for us. We are here for you, Abasie Keme. Abasie Keme. Abimbola, Andy, Chineye, David, The Graft, Emmanuel, Evans has spoken, Gladys, Godwin, Harry, Ida, iPhone, I know that's not your name, Josiah, Kamal, Muna, Oluwafemi, Roy, Roslyn, Temitope, Timothy, Udos, and Godwin. So please, if you have any question, feel free to raise your hand and I'm going to call you up, or please drop your question in the chat box. We have the floor now. Any question from anyone? Oh, wow. I don't know what it means that we understood everything that we've been saying since tonight. Did we all understand what I was saying? Please, if you have any question, hi, come out. Okay, I'm going to ask you to unmute, come out, so that you are going to speak to me. All right, come out. I've asked you to unmute. You have the floor, come out. I don't know whether I pronounced that name correctly. Please pardon me. All right, while we're waiting for Kamal, Oluwafemi, I've asked you to unmute your mic so that I can ask your question.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Oluwafemi.
Yes, this is a fantastic lecture. My own is that this cybersecurity of a thing. Now, how can I plug into it in such a way that because I'm in the military, my industry, I'm in the military, I'm serving in the Navy. So, and this peculiar branch of tech, how do I maximize it through this lecture, through this by joining the analytics?
All right. Thank you so much for that, Femi. So you are in the military and you
Yeah,
want to know how you can maximize
yeah,
the cybersecurity still being in military. I don't know whether
yeah,
Adedola want to chip in one or two, but before he comes up, what I'll tell you is that there are two main industries that cybersecurity actually is of keen importance, right? And that is basically the military space and the financial space, right? These are the two key areas where cybersecurity plays a vital role. Because as a financial company, there's 100% need for them to protect the financial information, right? And then for people in the military industry sector, there's also need for them to be able to protect the military artifacts of that exact nation because of cyber warfare. Remember what we showed through checkpoints where we have cyber warfare occurring inter-countries and all is of very, very important need for the military. For Navy, I know there are different departments that handles some of these things, right? So it's of
yeah,
very, very, very vital importance for it can easily key into cybersecurity by, first of all, registering for our program. It's from there that you now get the necessary skills, get the necessary tools to learn, and then you can now become a cybersecurity analyst. And from there, you can easily, ask for transition. I don't know how the military works, but I believe there will be maybe when you have some certain skills, you can easily start pushing to, move to the departments that handles some of those things. So I don't know whether that answered your question, Oluwafemi.
Yes, you answer my question.
All right, thank you so much. Oluwafemi, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from Ofa, Kwara, Lagos, and Kwara State, Nigeria.
All right, fantastic, Femi. So I'll advise you to take advantage of this discounted amount that is currently ongoing, so that you will be amongst the first 10 people to be added to the classes. Right, I can see a couple of payments coming in, guys, and I'll assure you that before this session is over, the 10 slots are going to be filled up. So it's advisable for us to take advantage of it right now. All right. Thank you so much, Oluwafemi. I hope to see you in class by next week.
Okay.
All right. So, Kamal, I know you said hi initially. Do you have something to say? Okay, there's a question in the chat box. Good one, guys. This is impressive. I just wanted to find out. I intend to choose to build my role as a SOC analyst. Will this be helpful, and what stage when the intention starts? Thank you. Adedapo, are you there? Hi, Adedapo. I don't know whether you're still on the call. Okay, so I'm going to try and take the question. So by SOC, I don't know whether you mean cyber. Oh, I don't know that you mean security operations center analyst, or I think there's so many acronyms right now. But if that's what you are looking to, basically, what security operators in a security operations center, what they basically do is to monitor, analyze, and respond to security issues, right? And for you to be able to work in a security operations center, you need to be able to have the necessary cybersecurity skills. You need to learn the tools that they use, right? And this starts from registering with analytics. So yeah, it is going to be of very, very importance to you, Emmanuel. If you want to have a role in SOC analyst, this exact program will be very, very helpful for you. And what stage? Our program starts from, okay, I meant internship, sorry. Okay, so basically, Emmanuel, our programs come as a full package deal, right? We move people into the classroom. From the classroom, we move them into internship. From internship, we move them to jobs, right? We don't bring people directly into internship because we do not know the level of knowledge that you have with respect to those areas. And we cannot be able to vouch for someone that we did not train, right? So that's why we made it possible for people to start from the ground zero and then climb the ladder. So what I advise you to do is, if you have prior knowledge, you can use this as a refresher avenue for you to refresh what you already know, and then gradually climb into the internship stage if that's what you desire. How do you ensure high level of individual support in job search? All right, fantastic question, Evans. There's what we call job tracking for our participants, right? So we've mandated every body in all our classes to be able to apply to at least 20 jobs every day. That's 1 month into their sessions. And after they apply, we have a job tracker where they fill the links to all these things that they applied. Now, why we track these things is because if after you've done these things and you are not getting interview invites, right? We are going to know there's a problem with your CV. And we are going to call you so that we will have a CV review, right? So we're going to now look at your CV to know the reason why, okay, Chukwemeka, you've applied to 20 jobs within the last 1 week, but you do not get one single interview invite. It means there is a problem. But we can only provide this to you if you, after you've applied for these roles, you fill the interview tracker link that we've provided for our participants, right? That's how we can now see that, okay, Chukwemeka applied for 10 roles and he did not get any call back. That means there is a problem. So we do this to make sure that we help you with the searches that you are doing, looking at your CV, And on daily basis, on weekly basis, we also push participants to apply to jobs, send vacancies to their groups, and make sure that they take advantage of those vacancies. All right. I don't know whether that answers your question, Evans. Thank you. Okay, I don't know whether there are other questions. People that have questions can use by raise your hand and we're going to call you up to speak, or you can drop your question in the chat box and we are going to pick it up from here. All right, guys. I don't know whether you're there so that you can give maybe a couple of closing remarks so that we can start calling it a day. I think everyone understood everything that we said.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, I think there's a question. Let me take this first.
Okay.
How often does this opportunity come up in a year with analytics? All right, Emmanuel, thank you for that question. Basically, we have new cohorts starting every first Saturday of the month, right? That is a guarantee. For every first Saturday, we must start a new cohort. But what is not a guarantee is the pricing for that cohort, right? So we all know the way the economic situation of the entire world is at the moment. So with the way we have the pricing at $900, £750, 1,080,000 naira, at now, it may not be the same for next month, right? It may not be the same for people that will join April. It may not be the same for people that will join in May or June or so. So what I advise you to do is that even if you intend to join in April, you can make the payments now, the discounted amount, and lock it down, and then defer your joining for April. So instead of you starting in March 2nd, we are now going to start in April 3rd, possibly the first Saturday in April, right? So by that, you've locked down the exact pricing at this point while taking advantage of next month. I think in finance, we call it futures trade, right? So what you're going to do with us is that we are trading futures with us. So by paying now, you lock down the amount for a future contract that you want to have, right? So that's how you can take advantage of the situation right now, Emmanuel. All right. I don't know whether there are other questions. Wow, nice. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that, Emmanuel. I hope to see you in class this March or April. Remember, the discounted amount will not always last forever. All right, I did the lap, but I don't know whether you have the floor now to say a couple of things before we call it a day here.
All right, thank you very much, Chukwemeka, for that. So, guys, the ship is about to sail. All right, take advantage of the offer that has been given to you by Analytics and join the train. All right, as we take you on the journey of cybersecurity, how you can earn more than other tech roles. All right, don't forget that the class starts in March, and just give yourself a space of 3 to 4 months, and before you know it, you start earning what you've always dreamt of. All right, so take advantage of this offer. All right, do not delay. The one thing that can prevent you from getting to your destination is when you keep procrastinating. Don't procrastinate. Take the decision, make that take that step, that bold step. That step that I took many years ago, all right, when I transitioned to cybersecurity, I have never regretted it. All right. And I bet you will not regret coming to the tech space, specifically cybersecurity. Why? Because you have lots of opportunities here. All right. And you always be in demand. All right. So take advantage of it. Don't sleep on it. All right. And, you just need to make some commitment, take giant steps to register yourself for the class. And I bet you will never regret it when you look back. You'll be grateful that you did. All right. So I'll see you in class. All right. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Thank you so much for that closing remark, Adedolapo. So guys, it's so much fun having you all here, and I hope to see you in class come March 2nd. So we'll be closing the curtain here, and I hope that you'll be joining us very soon. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful night rest. Good night, everyone.